Okay, I've just switched my pond pumps off, given the koi some food. It's a little bit of foam on the top of the water, or protein. We've had quite a bit of rain lately. You can see the garden is very green. The water is still freezing cold, so I don't think I'm anywhere near being able to breed fish yet. Possibly got to wait about another 3 to 4 weeks. The other night the temperature was 11 degrees in the pond, so 11 degrees Celsius, so very cold still. You can see the fish are looking in decent condition though, so they haven't had a lot of food. You can see the whites on the fish looking really good. That's just purely because when they don't get a lot of food, the white in the fish actually comes out really nicely. That's why quite often you starve fish before you take them to a koi show to get the white coloration up. There is a little bit of scraping going on in the pond. I can see a few of them scraping, especially when I turn the oxygen off. They scrape in the center of the pond onto my bottom drain. So there you can see one scraping now. I just need to have a look at that. In fact, you can see 2 of them scraping. So it could be the season change, and I could have some flukes in the pond. I normally treat seasonally as well. There's one particular shower that just scrapes continuously. He's almost like an early radar of something that needs treating in the pond. It's that guy there. As you watch him, you'll see him. Maybe he'll scrape for you. There you go. He scrapes on the bottom drain as the oxygen is off. So I need to have a look at the pond tomorrow. Maybe do a bit of a dose. You can see it's not really a lot of fish that are scraping. I mean, I've only seen 2 since I've been standing here. But that little shower, definitely something going on with him. Maybe I need to take him out and just give him a separate dip. But it seems like whenever I switch the air off, he uses that opportunity to scratch himself. You see the karashis are looking awesome. Look how big and fat there. That one scraped a bit as well. So yeah, definitely need to have a look here. I'm not feeding a lot at the moment at all, so it's not like there's a massive load on the system at all. Possibly once a day, just 1 or 2 handfuls of pellets, and that's it. But clearly they're not happy with the scraping. So yeah, I need to look at that. But we're still very much in winter here. It hasn't really started warming up yet. But I think this is going to be a good weekend to work on the ponds and sort some stuff out. I'm also starting to get some of my ponds ready for breeding. I had a bit of a brainwave that I don't know how that's going to work out in the end, but I've set up 4 mini porta pools that I'm going to fill with borehole water, and I'll show you how I've done those now. And I'm going to use those to initially raise Daphnia, but in the longer term put koi fry in there. So that's going to be quite interesting. So I've actually set those up on a deck area that I've got on the side of the house, and I'll show you now. But it's just to kind of give myself more pond space this year and see if I can't raise more babies this season. I'm really sorry about the foam on the water. I don't have a protein skim on this pond, and I haven't really wanted to put one in. And this is about as worse as as bad as it gets. But yeah, it's also just got to, literally just switch the pumps off. If I leave them off for a while, the foam dissipates completely, and you can see the water is very clear. It's still generating a lot of foam, which is surprising considering that I flush the tanks twice a week and I'm not feeding a lot. So the fish aren't generating a lot of waste. There's no real reason for there to be lots of protein in the water. I mean, you can see how clear it is. There's not a lot of stuff in the water itself. So yeah, but the fish enjoying some char. These karashis are absolute monsters. This big one is about 80 centimeters now. So I'm so keen to see if I can't get it to spawn again this season. But I'll do that last. I mean, they grow so fast that I actually want to spawn the slower varieties first. So like the shower and the Sankey. there you can see more scraping. So it's a couple of fish that are doing all the scraping. I need to actually put some meds in. In fact, I think what I'll do is I'll put some meds in now. Okay, so this is the stuff I'm going to treat the pond with. This is normally just flukes that happens with seasonal change. This is malachite green and formalin. So there you can see the dosage is 15 ml per thousand liters. I buy them in 2 liter containers, mix it up really well, and then put it into the pond. Normally the fish actually scrape a bit more when you're putting the meds in, but then that's just the parasites on them reacting to the medication and irritating the fish even more. And I normally do it in about 3 to 4 days after I've done the treatment. I'll do a second treatment. So let's put some of this into the pond. Okay, I've got just under 30,000 liters. So I've measured out 450 mils, so 9 capfuls at 50 mils into a bucket. So that's my first treatment. I've got it in the bucket there. I'm going to mix that with some water before I put it into the pond. Okay, I just really just empty the bucket slowly into the stream of water I've got going into the pond, and it circulates around the pond. It's not importantly the UV light goes off. So I turn the UV light off. I don't know if there's an urban legend that the UV light affects the strength of the medication, but I turn the UV off when I'm doing this process. I've actually turned down the water going through the bucket showers. It's mainly just flowing straight into the pond itself. I've never had a problem with bacteria and losing good bacteria through this dose. I do it on a regular basis when the seasons change, so it's all been fine before, but now the pond has got the treatment in. So I've pretty much got 450 mils in here, and then we'll see how this does in the next couple of hours, and see how the fish are doing tomorrow in terms of scraping. There you can see the water's going bluish green already as it spreads its way around the pond. There's a huge amount of water flow here. I mean, this is creating quite a current. When I turn this side jet on, there's a huge amount of current that goes through the pond, and you can see it's quickly spreading medication throughout the pond, and we'll be getting to work on those fish. You can see the bubbles almost look blue as the medication is visible in the water. So this pond is very clear, but it's got a pale blue colour. So that's with the meds in. So hopefully this stuff is doing the trick and sorting out any nasties on the fish. Okay, so this is the deck area that I've got. I hardly actually use this. There you can see the sun setting. But I've put out 4 mini porta pools. These are very shallow. They're going to get filled with water tomorrow, so this is just the shell and the plastic setup. And I'm going to put about 15 to 20 centimeters of water in here. Use it for some Daphnia in the beginning, and then longer term put some babies in here. My wife is not so thrilled with this idea, but we're not using this top deck section at the moment. You can see it hasn't got tiles down on the floor yet, but I just want to use it for about 2 months to help me get some fish growing. You can see it's a pretty awesome Friday evening in Cape Town, and there's a nice view of the fields. We've had some very cool rain. The dams are now almost at 70%, so our water shortage problem is done. This is just farm field next to the house, so this is in a built-up area, like literally in the middle of the suburbs. You've got one of the few remaining farms. This guy's got some cows and some horses that he runs on this field. And here's my latest little project where I'm going to start breeding some more fish. Come around to this side so I can show you what the pond looks like from this angle. So there's the rest of the garden looking like a, try and get some of the glare off here, like a bit of a jungle. There it is. There's the pond itself, the main pond. So we've just been down there now dosing the fish, almost standing where that white bucket is, and there you can see the pond is quite lush. Lots of foam coming back on the water again. I really think I should actually put a protein skim in. I need way too much foam. Even when I have got a lot of, I don't think at least I've got lots of organics in the water. It's still quite foamy. So this is my project tomorrow. Filling these suckers up. I'm getting 6 enormous bags of Daphnia that are going to go into the other ponds so long. But to get them started, I'm going to get these guys started with some borehole water, and then just let it stand for a couple of weeks before we do the breeding. Get some oxygen going in these tanks as well. Put an air pump up here. I've got plugs up here. I mean, this is quite a cool setup. In fact, when summer comes, I actually want to get this thing set up so I can sit out here or bra out here or whatever. But yeah, here you can see the fish are hiding away. So obviously the water, and they suddenly get scarce and disappear. So yeah, I'll try and make some more videos on the weekend, just as I get these ponds set up and as I start with the whole breeding vibe. But yeah, that's Friday afternoon or Friday evening.